Welcome back. Lost a lot of weight, but no one noticed. Now what? Now you can lose a lot of weight and still be disappointed if you don't know what progress to track or what you're looking for, or if you're expecting other people to make comments about your progress. So we're gonna fix that in this video. See if you can relate to this. I saw it online. I've lost 50 pounds, but can barely see a difference, and my boyfriend hasn't said a word. Click like if that's something you can relate to. If it's your first time here, my name is Reggie. I'm the founder of Fit for Freelance. I help business owners lose weight and feel their best without crash diets or guilt. I've got the Live Online scorecard link below. Now, first thing to point out here, lots of people don't comment on others' weight loss. There is a lot of consequences that can come with saying something, either weight gain or weight loss, and it can be embarrassing, or some people don't want others to notice their weight loss. So if you want someone to recognize your weight loss, then you can probably say something to point that out. Be like, hey, check this out. I couldn't wear it before, but I lost a lot of weight or something like that. That'll be like, oh, congratulations, right? Because if it's just complicated, trust me. And a lot of times people don't notice because your weight loss is most important to you. And a lot of people aren't comparing your changes day to day. So a couple things to point out and keep in mind, like if you are feeling disappointed that others haven't noticed your weight loss, it's because there could be other factors besides like it's not enough, because 50 pounds is quite a bit in terms of like, making changes for your health. All right. Next, monitor the results you want and why, and who you value feedback from. Big thing to think about here. If you are losing weight in order to have people compliment you, then you have to set it up so people will do that. And that could be a questionable reason to lose weight, but it's up to you and what you want for yourself. Then you can decide who you value feedback from. Because if you are open to feedback from others, then you could get it from people you wouldn't expect or you wouldn't hope to give you that feedback. So just having your expectations sorted out when it comes to your health journey and weight loss and how you want to interact with others can really clarify a lot and save you a lot of disappointment, because that's what this is really about. This is about the mindset of weight loss and like social interaction even. All right. And then think about what kind of feedback you're hoping for. Now, when it comes to this, is a scale weight loss. A lot of people aren't going to know what your scale looks like or what kind of progress you've made. They would have to rely on either you pointing something out or like the visual cues in different situations. So some things to keep in mind. And then also whether you're looking for compliments, how you want to feel with your weight loss, what you're actually looking for with weight loss, what the journey's about. A lot of times it's about feeling better about yourself, feeling more confident, feeling more attractive, those kinds of things. And if you rely on compliments from others, then you might be missing the main benefits of changing your health and improving how you eat and exercise and all that stuff. That's why I always point out, what does a healthy, fulfilling life of your dreams look like? That way you know what you want, why you're losing weight, and that's what keeps you motivated in ways that you can manage, that are like intrinsic to you. If you're relying on compliments from others, that's extrinsic motivation. And then if you don't get those compliments, then you could feel discouraged and that can knock you off track. So make sure you set yourself up for success by thinking about what's most important to you based on the healthy, fulfilling life of your dreams. Right. And then something to think about when it comes to change, like 50 pounds on a scale can look like anything. Like there's people of different heights and weights can look similar, but be like totally different when it comes to scale weight. And so that's why you want to have the right approach or an effective approach to make sure you're tracking your progress in a way that you can recognize it. So you're going to want to get good at spotting and appreciating the differences. Otherwise, you won't be satisfied with the result at any point. When it comes to weight loss, if you feel like you aren't getting progress after you've lost 50 pounds, then like there might not be something at 75 pounds that makes you feel like, hey, I'm on track, right? Like it doesn't work like that. What you have to do for your mindset and the psychology of it is recognize your progress as you're like getting the smaller steps. That way you teach yourself, like in the future, when I have more progress, I'm going to recognize that. I'm going to know what that looks like. And I can clearly identify that. Now, if you discredit yourself at any point, then there's no real guardrail for you to recognize like whether you're going to do that later. You can just be like, well, none of this counts because I haven't met my final goal. And that's a trap that a lot of people fall into. So look out for that. Celebrate your progress as you go. That also helps reinforce your behavior, so you're likely to repeat the things that are contributing to your weight loss instead of waiting for some distant result. Next, for this specific thing, this situation, compare photos, not just perception. So the way to do this, instead of like looking at yourself now and then looking at yourself in the mirror like 6 weeks later and be like, I don't see any differences. If you take a photograph, then you can picture. I don't know why I said photograph, but same thing, right? You can take a picture now and then look at it later, compare it to another picture. You can look at them side by side and then think like, oh, look, this is different from this. And that makes it really clear. You can play it like one of those spot the differences games, because then it's obvious, it's right there, especially if it's in the same location, like the same bathroom mirror with the same lighting, then it's really obvious when you're making a change. If you don't do that, if you just rely on like, well, how do I feel about how I look today? Then you're not really tracking your progress. You're just looking at how you feel right now and then trying to remember what you used to look like. That can be very unreliable. And then if you have any kind of psychological challenges or body dysmorphia or anything like that, then you're going to not recognize the differences. So compare photos, not perception. And then also, I've talked about this, track measurements like circumference, body fat, percent body fat, and lean body mass instead of just relying on your scale weight. Your scale weight only tracks how heavy your body is to carry on Earth. And like that kind of only matters if you want to brag about it, or if someone's picking you up, or if you were weighing in for some kind of competition, like a boxing match or a wrestling match or something, or if you're seeing how many people can fit in a horse-drawn carriage or an elevator, right? Like though that's what the scale weight measures. But the other things that you're looking for in terms of your physical appearance, circumference, lean body mass, percent body fat, and those are more effective metrics that are more specific to what they measure versus just how heavy you are. Click like if that makes sense, because that's a big topic for a lot of people when they're like, I lost 50 pounds, but then like you look the same because you either haven't looked closely enough according to this, or like it does, like no one's picking you up. So it's hard to tell, right? You might feel a little bit lighter in your knees or something like that. But besides that, like the measurements, make sure you're tracking what you want to measure. All right. So those are some tips. If you haven't noticed a difference, or if no one else is noticing a difference, these are ways you can notice your own changes in a way that supports your goals. All right. And if you are struggling constantly with back and forth yo-yo diets or staying on track, the Live Aligned Scorecard helps you uncover what's blocking your weight loss and get clear next steps and even effective ways to measure it. That's linked below. It's free. Check it out. It's awesome. And then next, you can watch How to Lose Weight Without Scale Weight Goals, Business Owner Edition. I'll put that video here. So that's today's message. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, keep practicing. Peace.